Hello there and welcome to another GMT Driving School video. On this one we're going to have a look at a few examples of other drivers making a few mistakes, such as this one. It's basically pulling out in front of us here and didn't see us well because of the parked cars. So there's a couple of examples. I want to keep adding these into the videos to see what problems we have to solve. So this young man tries to turn into the road that I'm on far too early and didn't expect me to be there, so you can see him having to swerve away. And we often make, he's probably trying to make it in front of somebody, so we all make this mistake from time to time, thinking I need to give way to a head, but I don't want to wait, so I'll just throw the car into the new road and there's someone there. And this last and third example is a nice old fella turning right from the centre of his lane, not even moving to the right of his lane. And as you can see there, we've got a little filter lane to use, so gives him very bad visibility, and he would have restricted traffic. So all those three things that you've seen would have failed a test. Alright, now on to common learner errors. Right, this student's been asked to turn right at the crossroads. So remember to break this down into two chunks. That is, you've got the green light, so we shall proceed. The learner's looking to come to a stop here, so I'm having to kind of chivvy them on, promote them on to keep going. You can see that's far too slow. So get them to move forward into the turn right position, and as the lights change, panic sets in. So we really need to get out of the centre of that before this Audi here starts to move forward. I've got another video on that, it's worth a look if you're having problems with traffic lights turning right. Oh, weekly occurrence, this one. That is getting stuck behind a slow moving vehicle on a dual carriageway. So there are opportunities to make the overtake, and if you don't take them, then you often end up having to do about 40 mile an hour behind some truck or some old person. So after the red van here, that's that time to start getting a move on, which isn't happening, but it should be happening to make good progress on the road. So you can see the speed's right down there at 49 mile an hour for a little bit too long. This one's a great one. It's a great example of why we check our middle right mirror a couple of times before we turn right. So if you look at the top there, here's a motorbike absolutely screaming past her, and we're turning right in a second. They're not there very long, and that will catch you out one day. Alright, so be very vigilant with your middle right mirror checks before you move over to the right. Again, not a common fault, this one, but just a good example of coming up to a roundabout and you've got this big lorry to your right. I wouldn't let the student pull out there, it's too dangerous. If we can't check our lane, then we shouldn't proceed, alright? So you would just stop there like we have done, so you can look to the right a bit more proficiently. So if you've got a blockage or an obstruction to your right, please don't pull out until it's gone, or that you have checked that your lane is clear. Here's another turn right at traffic lights, another classic. This will probably be poor position. Yep, that's a terrible position. We're straddling both lanes there, which is awful. There's me pushing over, and we've stopped at a green light, and the student said, oh, but I can't go. Of course you could. You could proceed to the centre of the road for your turning point, and that crappy car's just gone through a red light I've just seen. Don't tell the police. Please don't forward this to the police. So remember, two things, traffic lights turn right. You will proceed at the green light to your turning point, which is opposite your turn. And when you get there, you're waiting for a gap or the lights to turn back red, and that'll give you time to get out. So all you need now is a gap, or where we've got the filter light there, the green arrow, so we can go there. Champion. Again, got another video on that, worth a look if you're having a few problems with that. What we got here? All right, brilliant. Clearance. So a van pulls in, so you always want to be a bit, interested when a van pulls in, because guess what's going to happen next? We're doing 23 mile an hour, close, boom, there's the door. Watch the brakes, 22, down to 15 within a few seconds, down to 13, so that's too late, we've already hit the guy. So that's called anticipation. Here's the exact same thing, same place, different day. Person starts to step out to open the door. Too fast, no anticipation of that problem, and nearly slapping some ass with that left wing mirror. So you can see it happening, it's called anticipation. Please be very vigilant with that space to your left it does happen, and it's on my weekly videos. You'll always see it happening. What have we got here? I think this is probably not taking the correct lane procedure. So remember my 2 rules that I always teach: get in lane, stay in lane. So we've done that. We're turning right. That's 4th exit A19 northbound. So we're in the correct lane for that, and that's not usually that hard. So we are here now. Most people get this part right. Drink of tea for the working man. Green light, so we no need to look right in this occasion. We just carry on onto a spiral. And here's where usually the main errors occur. So you get onto a spiral roundabout. Remember, it's not a roundabout per se. We should be moving into the left-hand side of that lane now, but we haven't. We've gone into the right-hand part of the lane, haven't we? So we could still spiral down on that left-hand side. So again, we're kind of ignoring the fact we're on a spiral here. We should be following where that blue car's going. And then we could still get off our roundabout at the appropriate exit, but only in the overtaken lane. But we haven't managed to do that. So if this happens, and it will, and it's happened a couple of times to me this week, simply follow the lane, and when you get your next split, take the left split. Remember, spiral roundabout starts in the middle and it just pushes you left, but if you ignore that fact, you'll never get off. It's all very exciting, isn't it? A19 southbound. So we didn't want that one. So it's, what does that say on the floor? A189 northbound. So we could carry on A18 northbound, or like this student, they're going to have another go at this, so they're going to go back around, sticking to the right. I think at this point there was a test a long time ago. The examiner just got a hold of the wheel now and pulled them left, so just get them off the roundabout, because it didn't look like they were making any educated effort to get off this roundabout. But in this occasion, I hadn't said anything to the client. They were just going back around, and I was just happily seeing what was going on. So fortunately for this person, they did know what they had missed, and they were just going to go back round for another try. But I think by this point your examiner would have just thought, bloody hell, we're not getting off this thing today. So they might just ask you to change lane and pull off somewhere. Alright, so there it is again in front of us. The lane split, the blue car's taken the appropriate lane, and so have we. There we go, that's how to fix that problem. So remember, when the lane splits, take the left split, and you'll get off the roundabout exactly where you entered from. Everything's easy. See you later.